It didn't give the count. This time it didn't do the countdown. I'm getting used to these software things. Any apologies. Let's see here. I guess first is project status report. As finances have been procured and the green light has been given. Finally, do some basics. Move up from almost a rural existence, which is more traditional alternative, which I don't mind, but I need to increase efficiency and at least be able to freaking have the running water inside. As far as ripping out anything else, that can be done, but of course that has to be done in stages because I have stuff in here, so I have to move stuff to one side, do the work there, put up the new stuff, then move stuff out of the way for the next one, and repeat, section by section. That's how it is. And I can't wait. I've been planning this for 8 months at this point. I've been planning fucking day zero what to do, but not the okay, or that's what happens when there's a middleman, and then by the time I end up with cash on this is just for building improvement and maintenance, etc. That's it. It would be called an improvement for me because indoor plumbing luxury. Okay, you don't get this. Many don't, at least. So, hell, that's why I don't like having all these lights on in the middle of the fucking day. My power bill is gonna kill my entire budget. And it doesn't matter if people pay me back because it still gets paid automatically by the stupid Mother May I downtown. Got another middleman. So it means a lot when I finally get the okay to do this. And now I've got one more middleman. Whoever I have to go through to get my goddamn PayPal card re-fucking loaded. Because it's the only thing I could authorize to the Patriot Act. And being this identity fraud is in its last stage, and one more step has been added to that. So basically, it's not workarounds I have to sidestep because minimal requirement not meant. It's just system requirements. But that's because the system is ignoring its own paperwork. But then again, anyone who's been watching any of the videos that I've made already knows that. So what if I turned around and finally replaced the speaker that was stolen from me before these incidents unfolded, when I was with some really good people, and they were ready, and we did drive right up to the dude's house, and they all played stupid. The cops are playing stupid too now. Well, I already wrote back to Europe. There's something else going on. She'll soon find out. Anyway, back to what I was doing on the peaceful goddamn level of shit, which, by the way, that's what it is, because now to get the IDs at its last step. Social Security card's done already, with the proper name, already used their own paperwork, it's already been confirmed, they've already done all this shit. COVID got in the way of that, and I didn't have a stable mailing address, and then they dropped the process that was already in process right then and there, in the middle of everything. And then I got a letter from that administrator from that particular branch office that was already involved in the case. And then, the downtown flipped and flopped and didn't know what to do anymore. Because the higher up administration and the Ohio's Disabilities and the administrator of Sylvania branch, boom, Toledo, it's your problem. Even though Toledo downtown was the first ones to review it and okay a new Social Security number. And they just started even the last time I was down there with them. So the next thing was like, well, if I can't start that process, then I guess I better get an ID because I am basically gone thin. It's not thin ice. Everything's my own safety net by my own work and merit, my own footwork, my own honesty, my own integrity is why I even have a place I can cash my check. So, besides that, and all the little things I'm actually trying to do for real that has been on my YouTube account, aside from the satire side and the social experiment side of it, which I still have a few more videos to upload for the vlog series. And then I actually have, since I've been having a little bit of time to start organizing all these file backups I have, since I've just been grabbing what I can off. Luckily, I'm smart enough to get that 6th sense, but also because I'm A+ certified too, that I better back up my phone and, you know, prepare for the worst, keep an extra eye on it or whatever. And normally, if I have to keep an extra eye on it, it's because it already got forgotten once or twice, and that's happening. It's just simple as this: either I've had too much flashes from the lights or something from the traffic, because in those days I was using a lobby to centralize. That was my office, that was breakfast club, that was a diner. I had these fools come through with goddamn, just interrupt my damn morning coffee and doing the news. Shit that I was posting on and slicing up and making fun of. Man, I'm like George Carlin. There's chaos and people on fire running everywhere. I mean, the people on fire running everywhere. A happy guy. Because death is the fucking cure for life. And when it's not a man-made incident, even better. The best. Meteor fucking crash lands, a flood. Volcano. Doesn't matter. That kind of shit is where I get my dark sense of humor and mix it up with that dark satire, and of course the fucking scientific shit that this is what's left and these are expensive and only online can I replace them. Or, you know, if the people that were holding my stuff where I was working in the barn there in Wauseon, between Wauseon and Napoleon, Ohio there. My mom's place, so to speak. M-U-M. And if her husband, that Jesuit scum of a fuck, didn't want to play these kind of games, I would have, even with her at that point, I mean, come on, I would have had this birth certificate done already and the process started to do the name change on it. But that was that's prior to review at that point, actually, because I'm following it in the travel.gov situation. Protocols, rather, process. Because that's where I'm operating from. The situation's been internationally recognized, and no one here at home knew what exactly was going on until I brought, hey, how can I be in these many places at the same time, fellas? Okay. Now, when I got the paperwork behind this and all of that, trying to on and oh yeah, that's when I missed one more last point, you know, aside from the graveyard of dreams. Which I find humorous. Anyway, I end up running into some cool people just as things are just on their run down in the middle of the goddamn month, because this was the last month. After sorting through everyone else at this point, I didn't have many to sort through. So that's too bad. I had to say farewell, I had to say no, I had to say sorry, this isn't what the hell I was into. Hell, you guys thought that was. Well, I'm sure you guys would have thought I was a cop too. Heck, hell, you guys did. So, you know, I have to explain that internationally. So anyway, so saying farewell to that, moving everyone out of my way so I can take care of this, now that it's in all of this in the final phase. They'll get the stupid ID, even if it's the U.S. official Department of State level. This is what happens when people fuck up due process in the first place and don't fucking follow official business that's in their face. Chicago Customs. I'm not amused. Lansing. Didn't even know I left. They just reinstated everything. They ignored the paperwork at that point at the administration. What the hell is going on? People living in a twilight zone or something? Because I sure as hell ain't. I'm the one with the paperwork. Instead, I got people like, you think you might be blowing this out of proportion? I'm like, no, but you can read it right here in fine print. Would you like, because there's a dead kid that was in your Michigan shit if you want me to start exaggerating. He's probably just got his ass beaten on the side of the road after we did try to drag him to the police in Omaha. The cops laughed us the fuck out. Threatened to arrest us all. They were the misleading officer. I didn't have no paperwork except from Canada at that point. There would have been nothing. America would have been like, what the hell's this? What's this shit? Like they have been, stateside. In fact, the problem was only recognized because when I got out of the country, no one knew I left. And that's what Michigan thought I didn't leave. Because it turns out there's a problem now. With the fucking idiot that got hospitalized. And I just sat back and waited. Like, the cops wouldn't even take the fucking report. I first fucking said, look, someone's got my key for my storage unit. Now I've got jar of peanut butter that went missing. I got some couple books that went missing. This little stupid shit. Right? But I had the key missing in the first place. And I don't have the money at that moment because I just dumped it to get the storage unit, dumped it so I could have a camp. And then I just had that camp hit by the same dude that I know was somehow knew the dude or somehow was connected to that. But you know, I'm not going to talk about something I don't exactly have proof of. But if you wanted me to blow things out of proportion, that's as best you're going to get. A couple buddies in the Bronx who dragged a motherfucker up. I'm against violence. It's a funny fucking ass thing. Because anytime I speak about violence is in the context of it appears to be the only language someone's getting. After official shit is ignored. Then I might as well be talking to a wall! I go SOSing out here, like a fucking Mayday kamikaze pilot on these streets with these kind of papers, and the cops are fucking not even. 2 attempts of my life in this city, front page news. I took some testimony and some video evidence each time. I'm mentally stable, I've already passed that. I'm a victim of identity fraud. So if anyone tried to dig into things, in the meantime, you're going to find a clusterfuck. And that's what this paperwork is for. You go, no, sorry, I'm not your mental health case, fucker. That was a sham. And I shut that down in fucking Michigan before graduating out of high school and trade school. I thought that was the only time I was going to have to worry about that. Parental units having a goddamn account open in my name. Laundering money. There's more to it than that, but... So like I try to tell people, after this is just a fleeting moment, subjective reality isn't going to problem solve. So, all these little projects are on replacements and refits, retools, and a lot of work. And it's in the point of, to explain that in under 15 minutes, everything that's been going down and the lowdown of what's taking this long. In less than 15 minutes. Now you know what, in the streets, the street smart, when someone can't sit there and listen past what they already think you're going to say, well, then I'm going to got a game to play. Or they know something you don't, or think they know something you don't. And the only way to do anything about that is information warfare. Taint the well. With one drop, then trace it. Shows their whole goddamn little social network, all the little jitterbugs, all the little church Rolodexes, all the little block watches show up like a fucking sore thumb. Done right there. And go look at all these people that were misled by this idiot over here. Looking shit up. That I just showed him papers that say don't look it up. And if you do, it's at your own goddamn peril. That's why Canada fucking takes prints for information requests and asks for the reason you're using the information. You don't turn around and use that information to spread rumors on someone so that any help that was helping is now suddenly getting fucked with. The entire community's getting caught in the crossfire. Literally. And how many times did I tell those cops and call them and go, you know that stalker kid Avery still, well, yeah, just avoid him. It's the best I got. Like the hell is this shit? Twilight Zone? Like the whole zone. Endless zones of zones. There ain't no episodes here. It'd be like the never-ending story. But unlike the never-ending story, this is not. Shit. So it normally shows motive in information deflection. Which means I have to start, I already have, I've gone straight into militaristic information warfare. It's a war crime if I was using it for any self-gain and not for self-defense. As an independent inquirer even, if I were to go out there like my own privateer and use information warfare on people to achieve my ends and inquiries at that point, that's a war crime. It's not a game. Just like Canada there said, it's not a game. This is real. The U.S. Embassy there, constant section. It's like everywhere I've had, but yet no one is treating it like it is. Just simple things could have just been done. I mean, come on. You go from having a handful of retards to just, and now it looks like it's a judge. Like here's the doctor, here's the judge. They need to go to prison. There's some records here that would go put them there right next to it. Here's the 3 idiots that directly interfered with processing and renationalization process here in America on that side. Here's how I keep I definitely put my mother-in-law in prison because she went to extort and exert control anti-face with information she thought she made. People can't make decisions, real decisions, when they're getting nothing but makeup. They make belief does not exist, people. It's in the head, it's mental construct. Imaginary has better function as a faculty. Belief is, incomplete center, that does not compute for me. I go by fact, repeatability, and all of that. I'm a scientist, not a child. A child using its imagination would still be smarter than anyone who believes a damn thing, or doesn't even. Belief makes non-belief. They're both part together. And the problem with many Westerners' ideological precepts of duality, well, if you don't believe, then you must not believe. No, it's all data. Nothing more, nothing less. That means my memory is non-biased. Although I still am human, to some degrees, if you want to call that. sentient, or whatever term they use these days in the modern speak. I could go through the mechanical fucking function and probably find it for you if I reverse look it up basically by definition. Because I'm looking for the faculties. It's means by a means. It's fundamental application. Not by what I think it does. No thought required really, on such things. Don't have to think ahead like that except for plan, next motion. Next step. There's not even plans, it's just protocols actually at that point. In fact, there's not even plans, because plans require like a goal. It's like, no, there is no end goal. It's called a correction needs to be done. Hardcore, and some justice needs to be served to some people. That's not an end goal, that's protocol, that's due process. Or it's just lawless. That's why I don't believe in conspiracies. Okay, it's just corruption. Corruption with motivation is espionage, sabotage. Not conspiracy to me. Form and function. That's about it. I mean, I don't, other than trying, like I said, running into some cool people on the recap. It's the 5-minute recap of the first 15 that covered each 3 subject bases. The conclusion. At 21 minutes and 55 seconds. It's not the original because I hit the wrong button the first time. I did. And he's talking off. Not even recording. At least this time I am. So anyway, for those who need a bright note, as you can tell, it's bright enough in here. Yeah, it's as bright as it is for my eyes, if anyone can see that. Anyway, running into the old musician's life, traveling musician and all that, and that wasn't, that was just kind of a road trip and an embrace of the whole world. That wasn't switching like lifestyles or anything. It was literally part of the traditional life. To settle down eventually, but what better way than playing music along the way to find a place to find mistake. There was poetry to that meaning. When I'm a nihilist, and a godless nihilist at that, I'll your devil the same way. After all, he came from him, so by your religious writs. I don't have time for that kind of shit. Especially when it's a human problem, especially when humans use that as a goddamn excuse. And then humans try to be positive about things. Positive and negative, neutral. Instantaneous creation of matter, phase 1. Harmonic, atomic, charge, space. Thank you. Yeah, and that's sound, by the way, which is how I got into it. But everything has been the final edit, the farewell, the goodbye tour, so to speak. Especially since I had a major fucking seizure because I pushed it too far on my bike without the proper medicine. And I didn't scrape up not one roach. Just to have some fucking clown from McDonald's try to sell me happiness and enlightenment. I said, what light shineth in what darkness? And happiness is just the same energy as sadness. Hope is as hollow as fear. So stay hopeless and you'll always be fearless. These are different principles that I have always lived by. The very faculty, function, and architecture. So what again I say is a passing, a homage to honor a life that maybe a door. I said no, thank you. I'll just take these parts because I have my own thing I'm doing for more than just me. So now, this trailer was supposed to be 8 months it's taken. They said we get this far, the final okay, and just get started one piece at a time so I can unrust some skills. I don't want anyone to touch a damn thing. This is my project that I have waited for far too long. How long it took to get a trailer at all. I have no American civility to these kind of things. The place I'm from, you get knocked out for messing with a man's bread and butter and his home. These are two things that have been fucked with far too many times, so when I run into nice people, I don't want to come off like a dick and say, sorry, everyone's got to go because I got all this shit to do, and the BMV just added an extra fucking step into everything, and you know, it takes about 15 minutes to explain this to someone. You know, it's that simple. So, 15 minutes with a 5-minute recap on it. Extended chords here on 6 minutes. And this is like because my first recording had a few other points, case points. In other words, rough draft to final. Versus sometimes I'm good the first fucking time I hit the button. Sometimes I'm better when I do the rough draft, and it's my work in progress. You can see my art and creative process if you watch to my YouTube channel, of course. That's half the reason it's there. I show you a little project, everything I've been trying to do. And what I've been faced with is everything what people thought I was doing extended. So this is the first month now, after this, literally now, that it's zeroed out. Finally. And I've cut extra weight, so I don't want to come off like a prick to people that are from the heart helping and all that kind of stuff. That's where you have to go from when you're mentally actually stable and don't live up here and this is just your interface, your tool, index, archive, etc. And you got to balance out all those the principles, qualities, red tape, you know, administrative level thinking, in other words, with your heart, because you're empathic, you care. You don't want to be a dick because you know it's going to come off like a dick. Or worse, a cunt. That's why I fucking said it. And all of my abouts on every page says, I'm a cunt, deal with it. It means I don't put out. It means I'll cut you off. Anyway, it's long enough. Especially for an 811, that's like a told you twice over 411. Z out.